30 anni fa comprai la mia prima barca.
I bought my first boat 30 years ago. It was a Sessa man boat, this long. And now look what's coming out of the boatyard. This is the flagship, and as the Queen of the Fleet, she shows off all the beauty and luxury that Sessa can put together. Before taking her out and seeing what she's like in the water, let's just take a look at it. It's a slender line coupe, which means there's loads of space for the deck areas. The bow is very accommodating, with a chaise lounge, the sun deck, and a very chic sunshade for privacy. There's a sofa, a table, and furniture all along the sides of the cockpit. Despite all this furniture, there is plenty of free space. The secret is how the sun deck is planned out at the stern, maximising the use of the surface area. The submersible diving platform completes the well-planned external areas. Christian Grande, who has designed all the Sessa's models, has introduced a new architectural theme with this model, where the hull and deck aesthetically mix together and emphasise the merging of the two. Look at the language between the two windows, and how the living room continues down until it reaches the deck, and that side there rises up as high as it can possibly go. And again, look towards the stern. The gunwale isn't only raised to take in air in the engine room, it also draws out the profile of the deckhouse. Outside, and in meld together all over, from the living room you can see the horizon to the wake. The roof is made of glass and a large portion of it opens up to the sun and air. Coming into the living room, you can see the designer's unique ability to update Italian style whilst keeping the elegance, and even throwing in some dabblings in modernism. The layout of the main deck can vary, but this one here is very interesting. The kitchen has a mobile bar, which means it can serve both inside and look out. The fully equipped kitchen is really wide and located on the lower deck, which, despite its location, is flooded with light from the windshield. The steel top and professional appliances remind us of the Italian passion for the culinary arts. Textiles, leather, wood, steel are mixed together elegantly without being over the top. Don't decide yet whether you like it though. Let's take a look at the main cabin, which is in the centre of the boat at the most stable point, at 2 meters high. There is a dressing area and large closet, and look at the views out over the sea. The bathroom has 3 separate areas. There's a double sink and a colour therapy shower. There are 2 cabins for guests. One located at the bow with its own bathroom. The other is along one of the sides with 2 single berths and direct access to another bathroom. There is another version that has 4 cabins and 3 bathrooms.
The
C68 started out with a propulsion axis, which is by far the most reliable and long-lasting. Later, however, a version with IPS propulsion was developed, which is top-notch for its handling and efficiency. The model we are going to try out today is the more recent version, which has 2 Volvo Penta 900 horsepower engines.
Se non amate pilotare l'imbarcazione, se volete che sia un comandante a farlo al vostro posto, la linea d'asse.
If you don't like driving the boats and want a captain to do it for you, the shaft can be a great solution. But it's really a shame not to drive it yourself, as it's such a big boat. It's intriguing, and the IPS propulsion helps you with the handling. You can safely moor up by yourself using the joystick. Okay, it would be easier maybe with someone's help to watch the perimeter and fenders. Efficiency-wise, there's no comparison. The 900 horsepower achieves brilliant results. It's like having 1,200 horsepower propulsion at the shaft. The boat didn't lift up at the bow when we set off. There is no pull-up and I didn't have to use the flaps. The minimum speed for dynamic lift is 16 knots, 1,540 RPM and 90 litres per hour. The thrust of 4 counter-rotating propellers is definitely much more effective. There's less regression, higher speeds even in lower gears. This is a good cruising speed. We're now going 25 knots using 237 litres an hour at 1900 revs. Can you hear the noise? 70 dBA at 25 knots. And look at the windscreen. Of course, the safety of the boat depends on how much you can see out of it. And it's a very large one on this boat, and from these side windows too. Now we are cruising at 27 knots and 2,000 revs. Consumption has gone up a bit, but we're still only to 250 litres per hour, which works out at 9.7 litres per mile. The emissions data for us cruising is good, but I don't see why I shouldn't put my foot down, even if the conditions are not ideal. So here we go. Revs are going up, as is the speed. We're at the max now, 36 knots. And of course, consumption has gone up to 333 litres an hour. But at this speed, what if we had an unseeable obstacle? Well, I'd just have to give it the whole bar. Wow, great reaction. So the safety element is there if you ever need to suddenly change course. And there it is. Our C68 test run has definitely proven that this boat is a worthy flagship for Sessa.